you spoke about the pride you had in Friday's performance and obviously not the result you wanted, but how can you use that pride perhaps and that performance now in these upcoming home games?
Yeah, it's important that we take the positives out of the performance against Wigan. There was a lot to like in that, albeit a couple of just mishaps in defence. I thought we attacked really well and defended quite aggressively for the majority of the game. So a lot more of that will be needed now moving forward for the second part of the season, and we need to move quickly now and make sure we become that consistent side that we've been looking for.
What about clinically in the final third? Do you think there's more you can do in that front as well?
Yeah, well, we created 11 opportunities on me watching the game back, if you score two or three of those, you're a chance of winning the game, in that situation. But we've got to be clinically better there, and we will be. I think it's just a matter of we've changed the players backwards and forwards just about every week for the last 6 weeks. So, hopefully settle down now and we can build some momentum.
I mean, we've spoken about it for a few weeks now, haven't we? The sort of the catch-up we're trying to get in the top six. Realistically, how key are these next three between now and the end of the month?
Yeah, super key. But, I'm actually getting tired of talking about and looking at that top six because it just zaps me of energy because it's difficult to do on a day-to-day and week-to-week basis. So I'm going to make a commitment to myself that I'm not going to look at that ladder now for the next 3 weeks and just let itself play out. It's hard work. It's the hope that kills you, as they say. So, we've just got to make sure we look after ourselves here, both with our preparation and with the 80 minutes on field. So, another week with those players that have been injured back in will certainly help us, and we can build momentum as mentioned.
I was going to say, is it a case of looking at the momentum and just trying to get a winning run together and build as much as you can between now and the end of the season?
Yeah, I'm a coach that likes to have a why and short-term, medium-term, long-term goals, and I think we've set that quite clearly to the group, and you can look at it in all different ways and angles, but we certainly have our way that we want to go about this, and we feel that it can work and be successful, but we've got to win, obviously. So, that's the end result. The process is most important for us to get that result that we need and deserve. So, we've had a couple of meetings where we certainly made it clear to everyone, not only their positions are in doubt, but also that they need to be playing their best rugby.
Do you think that can drive them on?
Yeah, of course. We need something extra at the moment, and just being competing like we did against Wigan and playing reasonably well and not winning isn't good enough. So that's the bare bones of it. We've got to play like we did against Wigan, but find a way to win by executing those 11 opportunities that we've created, and again on the other side of the ball, defending a couple of really sloppy tries.
Just on departures, Zach Hardacre announced last night. Just give us your thoughts on that and how that came about.
Yeah, just policy of club. It's something that we don't comment on until the end of the year, to be honest with you. That's for the higher guys to get sorted. For me, it's business as usual, so I've got no comment to add to that.
Thanks very much. And just finally, on Huddersfield this weekend, what are you expecting from them?
I think they're going to be very physical and a high intensity game. I think there's a lot of questions being asked there within and around the place, and they're coming off a big defeat by Warrington at home, so they're going to want a response from the group. So we've prepared for that here, but we've got our own challenges and why ahead of us. So the focus is going to be about us, but we're prepared that it's going to be 100 miles an hour at the start. We've just got to make sure we manage that process and then come out of that on top.
Thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thanks, Rob.
Adrian, you well?
Very well, thanks, Drew.
Thanks, fine.
Oh, sorry, Drew, sorry. Adrian, just on Josh Charlie, is it good or bad news in regards to his rib injury on Friday night?
Yeah, I think we're going to give him right up to kick-off, but it doesn't look good at the moment. It's quite sore. I think it's more rib cartilage than broke, so we'll find out a little bit more of that today. So we'll see how the week progresses.
But I guess it's more good news than bad news in the sense that it's more short-term rather than...
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be 1 or 2 weeks at the worst if he's not to play, but that'll give someone else an opportunity to fill those boots. We've got a whole squad there that have been dying to have a crack and an opportunity. So that'll open a gate for someone else to have a go.
Yeah, just on other players, can we have a little bit more of an update on some of the other guys who have been injured? How's Ben McNamara getting on?
Yeah, Ben McNamara slowly as we go. There's a back issue there, but there's a bit of nerve damage in with his hamstring, so that's going to be a couple of weeks yet. Oggy Holmes is the one that's progressing probably the quickest out of all of them, so he's probably 2 weeks away too. So we've got a bigger squad than what we've had all year at the moment. We're pleased that John Asiata got through the game reasonably well. We're pleased that Robbie Mulhern got through the game. Gaz O'Brien got through the game. So off the back of that, we've now got 80 minutes with those players where we can go back to back with a very similar squad.
Yeah, it's massive having John back, isn't it? Especially at this time of the season as it goes towards the back end. Is it a case of just kind of managing his minutes slowly, a little bit like you did on Friday, as the weeks go on?
Yeah, I think so. It's a little bit more this week, probably a little bit before half time, a little bit after, and then we'll see how we go there. But I just don't want to cook him too early. It's important that we start winning and finding a way to win, but also manage his load, getting through to that part where he's feeling fresh towards mid three quarters of the way through the season, towards the end of the season.
And Frank Elton didn't play last week. Is that an injury or just selection?
Yeah, he's had a little bit of a groin injury, an abductor strain that we're trying to manage. We probably could have played at a pinch last week and just made that decision so we wouldn't make that any worse than what it is. So he's out, and again he'll be given up until kick-off this week to be right as well.
All right, that's the injury questions over with. You mentioned last week about the emphasis on returning to the Lee Sports Village this week and the Leopards Den, of course. How important, and not just these next 3 weeks, but I think I counted before that there's 7 remaining home fixtures. How important is playing at home to your side for the rest of the season? Yeah,
well, it's crucial for us, and we need to win every single one of those games. So we're on that tightrope now where we're tiptoeing along it. We're playing some good rugby, but not perfect. So the focus is on making sure we play that perfect rugby, get the wins and the 2 points off the back of that, and then climb up the ladder and build momentum through that way. And if we can put this week, I know everyone's talking about 3 weeks finish with Saints here, but this week's a priority for us. I can't look too far ahead at the moment, but I'm happy with the way we played against Wigan, with a couple of areas we need to fix. If we can just take a step up from that, I think we'll be a very tough team to beat.
Good man, Adrian. All the best for this weekend. I'll pass you on.
Appreciate it.
Just a couple, Lammy, that you've sort of already touched on anyway. I mean, if Josh doesn't make it, who might step in to the breach to take his place?
Yeah, I think there's we've got Darnell McIntosh who's been 18th man for a couple of weeks. You've got Keenan Brown that's been playing some good rugby at Widnes. Tom Nisbet that's been doing some good stuff. So it's a matter of who we choose to do that. So at the moment, I think McIntosh is probably the one that will slip in to the 13. So pretty excited about that if that happens.
And just on Huddersfield, when you've come up against a team who've just got a heavy defeat, what do you expect? Are you expecting a side that will capitulate again because they're low on confidence, or one that is determined to make amends as soon as possible?
Well, best practice is to prepare like they're going to come out 100 miles an hour and play the best rugby of the year. The first round that they played here, they played quite strongly and won. So we got that in the back of our minds. But you got to remember too that we're coming off a loss, a really tough loss where we played well enough to win. So we've got to make sure that the focus stays on us. Prepare that they're going to come at us at their best, and by doing that, we'll put ourselves in a good position.
Smashing. It's good enough for me, Lammy. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Hi, Adrian. Just one from me, if that's okay.
That's okay, Cal.
When you see, the likes of Ian Watson come under kind of scrutiny for how they're doing with the results, do you have some kind of sympathy for fellow bosses?
Yeah, I do. I always do. It's a tough job, and there's been a really tough job here to manage the season so far with so many injuries. But you can't put too much emotion into worrying about other people. But you understand the situation, and you understand the pressures that build. Everyone wants to win, and everyone wants to be up the ladder, and everyone wants to win the competition. So I think fans and supporters have just got to keep that in the back of their mind. I can't worry about it too much this weekend. We need to win ourselves as a club, and pressure's on us to win. So the focus is on me and the group.